Just want that one here. Stream info updated. There we go. That's what I wanted. Alright. I'm just gonna cut off the stream right now. I'll be back in just a few seconds. I just want to separate the VODs for different games. I'll be back in just a few seconds. Bye, you stole Matt's phone. Oh. Oh, fun. Oh, forgot to... There we go. We're back. We should be back, at least. Very nice. Alright, let's load into Satisfactory here. I have some blueprints I want to update. I have some stuff I want to test. As we get ready, and then that means next Tuesday, on the next Satisfactory stream, I'm probably going to be ready to deconstruct all of the main base. There we go. Is my face working now? My face is working now. Good. I don't know why my UI isn't, my pause screen isn't updating. Because I switched my category over to Satisfactory, but it's not, it's still saying playing Breath of Fire. For some reason. There we go. So, last time, I built this. Which is just a thing where I could throw all of my stuff into this box here and it gets auto-sorted into a whole lot of stuff. Which is very nice and convenient. Over here, I have built just a little test. Basically, this is what my new factory will look like once I will rebuild this place. I've made those brick type structures which are self-contained. I basically could treat each of these bricks as one machine. I've got inputs over here, I've got outputs over there, all of it labeled to make a specific thing. What I need right now are frames, so I'm just basically waiting up on those machines to pump out enough modular frames that I can there we go. So the modular frame storage, if I remember it right, is right over here. There you go. How's that looking? We're pretty full. I don't think I need more than that. So what I was pulling for the iron rods, I'm just going to disconnect that. And disconnect that. There we go. And now all of the iron rods that were here are going right back into the sorting machine and getting thrown in there, as they should. Modular frames are still getting produced, so this is fine. I'm just gonna let the machines, because there's buffers in those machines. They have, you know, stored in plates and rods. So I'm just gonna let those kind of burn out while making more frames, and then I'll deconstruct this bit. I could do that fairly easily. Got a few more iron rods coming in here because that is far from full, and it's fine. So even these I could throw in there, and it's just gonna get sorted out. All nice and good. So, basically, yeah, from what I'm looking at here, here's the past, here's the future. But I need to pump out blueprints, more of those blueprint bricks, basically, where the machines are already set up for specific things. Only thing that's not going to go away is the Christmas factory, because I can't rebuild that. Because the Christmas event is over, I don't have access to rebuilding these things. Like, if I try to choose, like, I could copy a foundation, I could copy a merger, but I cannot copy... Oh, I can copy the gift trees. I might be able to rebuild those. But after that, like the Fixmas bow, if I go to... Like, if I just build a constructor here... And in here, I can't choose the Fixmas bows and the Fixmas stuff in the recipes. Those are gone. So I can't rebuild the manufacturing of the Christmas decorations. Can't do that at all. Also, why is my bouncy truck not bouncy anymore? We're gonna have to fix that. There we go. Boing, as it should. All right. So we boing in. Yeah. So blueprints, that's what I was working on. Let's go back here. Because now, if we go back, yeah, I got modular frames, versatile frameworks, an assembler, like, just kind of the that's my base assembler thing. No, that's just a conveyor belt that goes in the middle. Ah, yes. Okay. I used the modular frames one. Now basically what I want to do is I want to shift the machines to another recipe and then just change up the signage for inputs and outputs. It's pretty easy, but you know. I'll keep the switch off for now. I think it's fine. So let's say encased beams here. What do I need? I need 18 steel beams, 36 concrete, so 36 and 72. 36 beam, 72 concrete. for 12 encased beams per minute. There we go. And from my tests, I could easily stack 3 of these, one on top of the other. And the conveyors are basically trivial to do. To get inputs everywhere for that. It's pretty easy. So, it very easily... That's what I did close to the storage space, is I stacked 3 of these up, and then 2 of them, 2 stacks side by side, basically. And that is kind of 3 times the production of modular frames that I usually could pull off with my current factory. Which is why I'm doing it this way. So, encased beams, 36... $36 steel beams, 72 concrete. I'll put 12 encased beams. Go. Bam, save. Yeah, that works. Next up, the aluminum stuff. Alclad aluminum sheets. So 10 copper ingots and so that I might actually even rebuild at the aluminum base. I might even restructure the aluminum base a bit. Maybe not the lower floor where all of the fuel generators are. I might rebuild the skyscraper. That one I might have to redo. Because I want it to be on proper on the proper world grid, which right now this base isn't. And the other base, well, every other base isn't either. Which means, like, even the railways are going to have to get rebuilt. Okay, so we need 20 copper ingots. For 60... 60 aluminum ingots. There we go. Boom. That pops out 60 Alclad for this building. Go. Alclad sheets, Mark 5, 20 copper. The aluminum ingots, and that's for 60 Alclad. Go. Bam. Saved. Then we do casings. Oh, these are a bit weird. Okay. 75 copper ingots. So that's 150. And 300 ingots. 300 aluminum ingots. I'm not gonna need a whole lot of these buildings. And that pumps out 112.5. So that's 225. And 150. Go. There you go. So yeah, this is a bit of a boring end of the stream, but it's gonna save me so much time next time we stream this game. Because next, yeah, I'm gonna have to start kind of marking out what the Christmas factory is. I'd have to paint it just so I don't get confused. I'm out. Oh, I know what I could do. I could paint the floor in a Christmassy color. So if I do like edit the a custom swatch. There we go. That's a nice green. And I'll have red as the secondary color. And that doesn't really... I mean, I could paint the machines, I guess. I don't really care about painting the machines. I mostly care about, like, the area. Hello, you have arrived after dealing with stealing Matt's phone. Wow. Yeah, two-factor authentication tends to be useful, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just gonna paint the floor here to kind of mark out the Christmas factory, because that's the build. That's the place that's the stuff I do not want to deconstruct, because I cannot rebuild it. Christmas event is over. I'm not going to be able to rebuild it even if I wanted to. So let's just mark this area here as do not destroy. Every green tile I see, I do not destroy. Of course you're leaving funny messages on your group chat. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, I think I'm going to invert the colors here. The green tiles are not very visible, so yeah, red tiles, a lot easier to spot. Okay. That whole section here, I'm not destroying. I am keeping as is. Okay, I am also having issues with my hover pack here. Okay, so no. Get back here. I know what I'm gonna do. Put on a power switch right here. which is eventually going to get destroyed. Let's not kid ourselves here. But I am temporarily going to power on the Christmas factory. So that my hover pack can recharge itself. Okay. And now I can mark these tiles as do not destroy. Yeah. I'll just paint over the machines too. I don't really care. Look at that. Yep, there's more decorations getting pumped out now. But it's fine. There you go. That here, that here. I think that section cleared out. That obviously the tree platform with the bouncy truck and the snow machines. That's not getting destroyed. That's staying right on. There you go. Okay, and then over here. Oh yeah, we're Pico Jr. is not going away. I'm not destroying that platform. He is staying. That's for sure. There. All of these I can now go. Just paint all of that. Okay, yep, that's the gift production stuff, so that's also getting painted. Oh, that one I have shown I can kind of copy if I need to. So I could move this facility, the little Christmas tree facility, away. Go. Just paint all the things here. Alright, I think that covers most of it, if not all. There we go. Never plugs in his phone, so you're charging it for him? Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the rooftops of this Christmas facility as well. Just so I don't go destroying it by mistake. There you go. And then this. There we go, and finally, yeah, that one I've kind of built off the roof of the Christmas factory here. Kind of stops there. Good, even that's just biofuel facility. That's not Christmas related at all. That's just the train stations. Those are gonna get moved. The hypertubes, 1000% gonna get moved as well. And over there, that's the explosives making facility. And that rooftop needs to get painted as well. And that piece of floor too. There you go. There we go. That looks about right. Okay. So now that I've marked the stuff I shouldn't destroy, I'm going to have to start planning for a few other things. Mainly the trains. Some, if not all of those railways, are going to have to get rebuilt. Because the grid I want to build on is this one there, not this. So it's going to be at an off angle. But that is the world grid. This isn't. Meaning, if I just grab a foundation tile and hold control, that's the orientation that it gives me. That was just randomly whatever, because I can still spin it, but if I hold control, it actually orients it this way. So I want to be building on this orientation now so that everything lines up. Because it's been a nightmare to try to build new bases and things without being on the proper grid. So I'm getting rid of that nightmare now. That can, yeah, that can also go away. That's part of the factory. That's not Christmas factory. That is just normal factory. Yeah, that's the ACU factories. So, ooh, hold on. I'm seeing smart plates and rotors and things getting thrown in the. Okay. Yeah, we're full up on casings. We're full up on rotors. Nice. And we're full up on smart plating. So those I can actually disconnect from the storage facility and get ready to destroy those. That's the smart plating one, which is getting sent over here. Which then goes up to here or there. Okay. You're the ones making smart plating, aren't you? Yeah. So that's a splitter. Okay, it gets split to here, and that gets sent down. That's a merger, which goes that way. Okay, yeah, so it's this belt here that I have to get rid of. There you go. That is the one going down there. Okay. Why do I have so many ACUs in here? All of these ACUs don't have any business here, so that can just go away. Yeah, because they're getting sent here. and then down where they should be going. No, not that one. There we go. That'll do. And the ones I mark in green usually are going straight to the storage facility, so I should... There you go. And those modular engines also don't need to exist anymore. I could just get rid of that. And I'm just going to throw them in here. So, modular engines, concrete, beams, ACUs, all of that. That's the beauty of this thing. I just throw everything in there, and then it goes right through this spine and gets sorted out into the proper containers. And everything that is extra, because the containers are full, straight to the bin. I also just realized something. There we go. I had forgotten to grab the link to my my YouTube chat. There we go. So, yeah, so we had rotors and we had smart plating. I've disconnected that. I disconnected the smart plating. I don't think I've disconnected the rotors yet. Or are you the one making rotors? No, you're the one making plating. Rotors is a floor below you. I think it's these ones. Yeah, rotors. There we go. So that goes up to here. It's a merger. That gets split. Okay. So it's that line here. That is now not needed. For the rotors. Let's get rid of that. And get rid of this. There we go. So now the rotors is going to go where it should be going, over there, to make motors. I also have stators going here. And the stators are currently going down there. How near full am I here on stators? I know I'm not completely full, but I should be pretty damn close. Close enough. I think I'm okay with stators. With not getting more stators thrown down there. So this line here, I'm going to get rid of. There you go. Because now stators, yeah, they're getting made here. No, that's motors. Stators are getting made here. They're getting thrown in there. To make motors. And on the other way, they're going this way. And that's going... That was going down there. So it's this line. Because the motors... Wait, hold on. No, maybe not, because they're being used for something else here. Yeah, they're being used for automated wiring, which I kind of need. So I shouldn't cut off that line. Should cut off this line. Yeah. And this line there. And then this all go away. Then I grab that belt, plug that back onto here. That should be a green belt. Like that. Because now I've got some motors going up there, some of them going down there. I just need motors to get made faster. But now that I'm not sending any stators to that way. Now all of the stators that I'm making are actually getting used for something instead of going to storage. That should become a little bit faster. And for the automated wiring that I've got over here, how much of this do I actually need? Like, how much of this do I already have in storage? And should I make more? Like, I could just pop up another block of flats like that very quickly to start making more automated wiring. I've got a decent amount. The heavy frames. Engines. No. Wiring. Right there. These assemblers here. 2.5 per minute. Yeah. I mean, I do have a decent amount of those. Do I need more? I could disconnect it. Then again, like, If I disconnect it, that just means I get more motors. Is this what I want / need? I do need more motors. I'm running low on those. So that and that and that. All of that gets sorted out. So I could disconnect the stator line that goes up to make wiring. Which is this one here. So I just remove that. These are not getting a whole lot of steel pipes. It's this line here. Let's follow that. That should be coming from the train directly. And they are. That's not a lot. I feel like it should be a lot more than that. Because it's getting split. Okay. I'm gonna go and have a look at my steel pipe production here. Okay, those are AI limiters. I'm good with that. Okay, train's coming back. Yeah, I'm gonna hop on the train. Because it's this here. It's this first wagon here. So I'm not producing a whole lot of pipes, and I should probably shift that base over to make a lot more. Alright, what do we got here? Did I miss the train? Or did the train that we saw over there not... No, it's there. It's coming. I like the fact that it's just the wagons that show up at first. They loaded before the locomotives. Somehow. Okay, I'm gonna hop on. I'm not entirely sure what else those steel pipes are getting used for. So I might need to take a look at that second top output from the train station. Yeah, because it's sending a whole lot of it on top too. So only half of the production is getting thrown at stators right now, and I need a whole lot more of it. But let's go see if I could increase the amount of steel pipes that I'm making back at the other base here. So it should be this one. Yeah. It's like only 150 pipes in there. I should be making a whole lot more than that. So I've got 8 smelters. That's 240 ingots per minute. Okay. Yeah, there's some upgrading to be done here. Okay. This and this and this and this, and then this, and then this. Okay. Now for this, needs 100. These are going to get loaded in faster. And I think I see, okay, the steel beams are now full. So the other option that I have is to shift some of the steel beam facilities that I have here into steel pipe makers. Because the recipe's the same. It's steel ingots into pipes or steel ingots into beams directly. That goes for encased beams. So I'm not too concerned about that one. That one, I'm guessing, goes to the train. That is not full at all. Am I maxed out on the amount of steel ingots that I can make? I have a feeling I might not be. Or am I using all of my steel ingots? That's the other question. Okay, so 40 per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 240. Got 240. Go. All right, cool. Just wanted to. So yeah, I got 240 here. And as for my iron ore, how many mines do I have now? Mark II mines, Mark II mine 1, 2. Three back there? Three, 4. That's 4 Mark II miners at the very least. So 4 full lines of iron ore. Just getting plus that one there, so 5. So 240 times 5. That's 1,200. 1,200 iron ore. Okay? You use 40 per minute, so 240 per floor. 3, 4. I've only got 4 floors. My limiting factor might be coal here rather than iron ore. And the other thing is, my conveyors are too slow. My output conveyors are too slow. Because these can only carry 120, and each floor is putting out 240. So that's probably the factor here, is the steel ingots are getting clogged up rather than moving at the pace where they should be moving. Okay, and then they're moving down to here. So, up. It's basically Operation Upgrade every conveyor belt. Yeah, I'm out of Alclad. Is my Alclad getting uploaded? It is, but it's quite slow. Alright, I could shift over to like Mark IV belts, worst case. That's still good enough to keep us going for a while. If I've got spare ingots, then the new machines I could make, I would go to making steel tubes with. Wait, hold on. 60 per minute. So 120 per minute here. I'm using half of the steel ingots that I could use. I'm using half the steel ingots I could use. That's what I'm seeing right now. Because that's 240 per line. Okay. So 2 of these are getting switched over. Not there. Why do you put that upstairs? Okay. That's the first one. Second one should come up to about there-ish. That's a freaking merger again. There. So that should be all the ingots I need to keep those beams going. Which means those beams are now freed up to make some steel tubes. Means I'm going to want them over here. I might want to pop down like a steel tube making brick right here. I'm pretty sure I've already got steel pipes. There you go. If I just say stack 2 of these up. That, and then I'll just have the pipes rejoin this line here. So, but what's my input here? Output of 40, 80 per. Input of 2 of 120. So I could run 4 of these bricks. Like that. There we go. All I gotta do is this power switch goes away. This power switch goes away. That gets plugged onto there. That gets plugged onto there. Now it's just a matter of bringing the steel ingots here. So these, as well as these supports here, can get rid of. Trade all of that. There we go. Well, these two here. Morning, JD. Hope you're doing good. So that has to go to about that height. These gonna go here. I've been wasting a ton of steel. There we go. And then we're gonna have that going there. So just gonna have a power line kind of actually. That power line I could bring all the way to here. That goes into this power switch. That power switch. Easy. And now finally, well, finally, it's just a matter of plugging that into this. So, splitter gets to here. Gets plugged onto there. That is plugged onto here. And then this goes up to the second floor. That's the first one. Second one, literally same drill. Splitter like that. Goes upstairs. That goes to here. That goes there. That goes there. Now it's just a matter of merging the outputs. So, merger right there. Boom. I need iron rods. How am I out of iron rods of all things? No plates and no rods are getting uploaded to dimensional depots right now. That's why. Alright, we're gonna have the hypertube back home then. Actually, that line here looks like I could use. Not doing anything, just there, kind of pre-planned. That should get me enough conveyor length to finish up what I want to build here. Grab all of that. Still out. Oh, okay. Well, that's 3 out of the 4 inputs. Outputs, I should say. Sorted out. The train's right here. That's convenient. Just gonna go plug iron rods into a dimensional depot. Go. Up, down to the storage. And over here. That's my iron rods. Yes, it is. Dimensional depot. Bam. That's gonna get uploaded. I'm gonna grab just a couple stacks on top of that. That should do. Let's quickly get back up, catch the train on the way back. There you go. There we go, that's the outputs plugged in. Now all I gotta do is flip the switch. Go to the other switch, flip that on, and now I should start having... Oh, I've only plugged in the first floor. Oops. Okay, yeah. I'm only grabbing half of the... I'm only grabbing half of the stuff. There we go. So all of that gets merged into here, that gets merged into there. That needs there we go. Now I'm really throwing all of it in there. And suddenly, now the train station, well, it's not full, it's just jammed. Because while it's getting loaded. When the cranes get up, it'll toot, and then, yeah, now it's filling up, and it's going to fill up very fast. That's basically a full Mark 5 belt now. Getting thrown in there at 480 per minute or so. Actually, it's 700 and something per minute. What's my output here? 40, 80, 80 times 4, 320. Plus this. 370 per minute. Getting thrown up in here, so now I'm not going to be running out of pipes at the other end. For the stators and the ACUs and the motors and all of the stuff that I needed for. It's exactly what I was hoping for here. All right. All right, cool. Okay, so while this is running, yeah, the new bricks are already proving to be a lot more effective and efficient than what I was doing before. So that already tells me that the upgrade that I'm planning is both needed and the right one. we go. So now the pipes are going to come out here. No, come down here. That line goes to here, down to there, goes to here, into here to make stators. And now finally, these machines are nice and full. Well, hello there, Peter the Cat. Good morning to you, my friend. Also playing Satisfactory. Very nice. You catch me at a pretty critical moment of the playthrough, because we're in phase 4, but we're at the point where...
Hello there.
What I have is not good. Like, this place is a mess. Okay? Look at that. Just, you know, it's not horrible, but there's conveyors everywhere. It's a bit of a mess. So... Phase 0, Tier 1. Yeah, well, I'm closer to the end of the game. You're very much just starting, yeah. But one thing I'm kind of happy about is those little brick designs. So I've designed the brick, which is a little block like that, which I treat those as a machine, basically. So this is, I treat that one as an assembler. It has a bunch of assemblers in there with the 2 inputs, the 1 output. I've got these bricks for constructors, for smelters. Like, I'm making a bunch of those. So what's going to happen is this whole base, all of it except for the part that is in red, because that's the brick. Every brick is a mini factory, basically. And now the only thing I'm going to have to balance are those bricks rather than every machine. Once I rebuild this place. So the only parts that I'm not going to destroy are the parts that are red floored. Because that is... The part that is red floor is the special Christmas event factory. So if I deconstruct that, I'm not going to be able to rebuild it. So I can't destroy this, but I will destroy everything else. And rebuild. Ooh, hydrate. Thank you very much. So one thing you should know as a new player in Satisfactory, as you can see, it's quite easy to kind of not really align your grid. But if you hold control, it builds on the world grid, which is that one here. I did not know that when I started the game. So this whole massive base is not on the world grid and is not aligned with everything else that I've built. Okay? So the control grid, the world grid, is this one here, which my base isn't on. That platform down there, though, that is on the world grid. That is going to be part of the new base. So make sure to build on that. And the other thing that I've done is this storage facility. Which I have maybe just slightly gone overboard with, but I don't care. It's an auto-sorting storage. So basically, I just dump everything I have in my pockets in this container here, and then it goes through and gets sorted into proper containers, which I have labeled. So everything has its own box and gets stored like that, and it gets auto-sorted as long as I dump everything I have in this first box here. And if its storage is full, let's say my concrete box is currently full, we saw some concrete going through, it just gets dumped into a bin. So everything is gonna get here. basically what I intend to do, because I've got like, you can see in the distance, I got one over there, and another 2 over there. I got 4 train stations bringing stuff into this base. I want all 4 stations to be rebuilt just about here where I'm floating. And all 4 of those, I'm just basically gonna take everything those stations bring in, dump them right into that storage area, well, half of it, and the other half is gonna go and basically be resources for the base. And I have a lot of rebuilding to do because, like, all of my railways have to be redone. Yeah, all of my railways have to be redone. Yeah, there's a lot to work. There's a lot to do. But I am at the point where my preparation is almost done with. You have seen someone do Sandbox. This isn't Sandbox. This is the actual playthrough. I just happen to have the hover pack attachment, which allows me to just kind of float around as much as I want, as long as I'm close to my power grid. It gets charged up via electricity, like this. So I get zapped, and it recharges my hover pack. Okay. Now that I'm done painting the ground for the Christmas factory, I can switch it back off. I can stop it from drawing electricity. So power switch off. The whole Christmas factory is now off. You just got Satisfactory. All right, I mean, that's great. I hope you will have a great time with it. One thing I would tell you is one thing you are going to want to master. As soon as you can do it, which I believe is going to be on tier 3. Phase 1, tier 3. Is blueprints. So, I'm going to clear that. And take all. So once you get to tier 3, you can research blueprints. It'll give you this thing. A blueprint designer. Okay? So you get a 4 tiles by 4 tiles grid that you can build stuff on. You know how to use them? Perfect. You're just gonna have to figure out a way. Well, one thing I would strongly suggest is to learn to make your blueprints stackable, both side by side and up. Yes, you can place those safe builds. If you make saved builds that you can easily stack side by side or up, then suddenly you could start building very big bases very quickly. Which is why I'm not too scared of the time it'll take for me to rebuild this place. I'm honestly not even concerned. I'm just making sure I have enough resources to rebuild the whole place. Because I've made all of my blueprints be these little bricks that I can stack. Like, this is the size of 1 brick. So I can stack them up and down and side by side and just plonk them down as many as I need. And just rebuild the whole place very quickly. I'm just making sure I have enough resources now for all of this to work. Okay, so these machines are now idle. Yeah, because I was making extra modular frames. I was low on modular frames. So these I now don't need anymore. I could just get rid of them. So I'm just going to destroy all of that. Get rid of that. And get rid of that, and then just, you know, all of the conveyor work. You're gonna try sandbox mode? I mean, if that's what you feel like doing, go right on ahead. There you go. There and there. I think the advanced settings making it sandbox. Yeah. I haven't changed. In the advanced settings, I don't think I've changed much. Because I wanted to be able to get the achievements. And using the advanced settings usually disables the achievements. There you go. All of that can now go away. Just making room. I was just waiting for those machines to not be used anymore. And that one, oh, that one's the one, that was the one bringing in obelisks and explosives from that other factory back there. Okay. There we go. All right, cool. My concrete is now full, so I don't need to be sending any more concrete here before the rebuild. So let's go all the way back over to the concrete factory. I'm going to unplug that from, well, the line that's shipping it all the way here, which is this one. That conveyor doesn't need to exist anymore. Okay. And now that one goes up to there. That can also go away. I'll keep that one here. Just as a, because if I need to ship more stuff into the storage facility, I could just merge onto this green line that I've already marked. That'll do. Alright, up here, those are, that's my, like, AI limiters and computers and stuff, isn't it? Yeah. Circuit boards. I have been shipping computers over there. Yeah, it's... I thought I was shipping computers over there. Was I? That line here. It's the second one from here. Yeah, okay. I do remember now. So all of the overflow from these 4 lines is getting grabbed here and shipped down. So the computers are going down there. How full am I? Toctic, not lost in my own factory, just figuring out, because what I'm doing right now, Toctic, is emptying out the factory into this big storage facility so that I can deconstruct the whole thing and rebuild. I'm just making sure I have enough resources. Ba-da-da-da. Computers, computers, computers. I feel like it's on this side. These ones. Almost half an industrial container. That's a decent amount. That's a pretty decent amount. Yeah, the other big advantage of this storage facility, on top of being auto sorting, is I have just enough room to be able to pop in a dimensional depot for whatever I need if I run out of something. And just plug that in. Peter the Cat, it's all one map. It's all one big map. You just get 4 different starting locations. So I would argue that the Grasslands is the easiest one for a beginner. It's the most beginner friendly. This here, the one I am playing on, is the forest one. The forest start is, I would say, the most challenging in terms of building space. You really don't have a lot of space to build with at the beginning, so you really have to learn how to build vertically before you consider taking the forest start. So, you know, vertically stackable blueprints are your best friend here. I would argue, yeah, the Grasslands would probably be the most beginner-friendly one, so that's the one I would suggest for you, since you just got the game. There we go. And yeah, Christmas event, Christmas tree, gingerbread truck, bouncing on a jump pad, because I can. And, like, even the space elevator is going to get deconstructed. I'm legitimately going to destroy even the space elevator and rebuild it elsewhere. Would you ever do multiplayer? Not on stream. Or at the very least, not on stream. If I do it on stream, it's going to be with people that I know very well outside of the internet. Or at least outside of stream. So just for regular viewer multiplayer, I might do it, but not live, not on stream. So it would be a different map than this one. Well, a different start, at the very least, and a different save file. All right. This is very, very good progress. I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, even like the auto sorting facility is now mostly full. I'm almost full up on ammunition. That one's empty, but that's an ammo type that I'm not even making yet. I might even switch that container to something else. So that's full. That's a good amount of the way to full. I'm full up on fuel. Full up most of the way to reinforced plates. Okay. I might actually want to... There we go. Like even freaking versatile frameworks, mostly full. Auto wiring, mostly full. Modular frames, mostly full. Yeah, this is... Okay, that's the... Yeah, these are some of the space elevator stuff. And then, yeah, the SAM ore, the Alclad, aluminum stuff. Yeah, this is getting nice. This is getting nice and full, and so I think what I'm gonna do... Whoa. Is get these conveyors out of the way. This is mostly going to be my walking space. I am going to design a building around this whole thing, obviously. This is a big old mall for me, really. I'll have probably a ceiling space for conveyors, for output conveyors, for any of these, whenever I need to grab stuff. But I think that the prep before the demolition is now done. I think that we're ready to start deconstructing this base, which I am going to do next stream. At least next stream, next satisfactory stream. Because I do stream a variety of games here. You wanting to play with a pro? I mean, what I would say, Peter, is look below the stream, join the Discord, and join the Discord, and then we might be able to play together. But it would be, yeah, I wouldn't do that on live stream though, because I don't know you very well. Meaning, I have no idea what you're gonna say on camera or on my stream, which might be heard, and you don't have Discord. I mean, I would strongly suggest you install it. Doesn't let you join. Is my Discord link expired? Ooh, that's something I definitely want to have a look at if it's the case. I have it, but it's always disabled. Oh, your account is disabled. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, in that case, I mean, if you want to play together, I would strongly suggest you reactivate it, because that's really the best way for me to hang out with people from stream is the Discord. Yeah, that's really the best way. So I would strongly suggest you reactivate your account in that case if you want to play together. I'm not against the idea, but I do have to kind of protect myself here. All right, so with this absolutely beautiful site, look at that. I'm never gonna get tired of watching this, like, stuff get sorted out here. I never get tired of it. Anyways, I'm gonna be ending the stream here. I'm gonna look for a friend to raid. Tomorrow we're playing Pacific Drive, and we're coming along quite well. We just made it to the deep zone, so that should be a lot of fun. Make sure to stay tuned. And as for me, I'm gonna be finding who amongst my friends is currently streaming. Let's have a look. Oh, Frogs is streaming. Yes, and we were playing old school RPGs today. So it is oddly fitting that Mirth of Frogs is currently playing the original Final Fantasy VII for the very first time. He's playing it blind too. So we're gonna go see Mirth of Frogs, and I hope you are able to tune in tomorrow. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon.